The Shark Deck.
I'm Johnny Mac with your daily comedy news. Bert Kresicher was on with Pardon My Take. He started talking about Aaron Rodgers, and he said, let me tell you something right now. Aaron Rodgers is one of my favorite hangs because that guy's heavy with secrets. Oh, yeah. And we had secret times on the bus to the point where I was like, yo, cameras are on, bro. Like someone turned the effing cameras off. He was great. The best thing about being friends with Aaron, he's the first number in your phone. Yeah, because it's Aaron. That's true. Yeah. And anytime anyone grabs my phone, they're like, effing Aaron Rodgers. What do you think the secret times are? Sam Morril is at the Borgata tonight. This from Atlantic City Weekly. They asked Sam Morril, did you grow up funny as a kid? Sam said, I think I was funny. I mean, it's hard because your friends think you're funny because they're your friends. But then as a comic, you have to learn to be a different type of funny. You can't just go back to inside jokes as a comic. You have to learn to connect with strangers pretty quickly or they're like, this guy sucks. In his recent special, Sam Morril mentioned that he loves movies and that Dog Day Afternoon is one of his top 5. What are the others? Sam said, it's really tough. I mean, Dog Day Afternoon is just so perfect because it's pure New York. I love old New York movies of that era. I think they made the best movies around that time because you've got The Godfather, Chinatown, Bonnie and Clyde, The Graduate. That era is so cool. Sam was in the movie The Joker. He is the comedian that performs right before the Joker does stand up. Sam said, it's been brought to my attention that the Joker's origin story is that he couldn't follow Sam Morril on stage. Well, Sam Morril, you seem to do a lot of audience interaction. Sam said, it's funny. People think I do these crowd work shows, but it's not true. I did over 60 minutes of material on both shows last night in Utah. What happens is I do so many shows and I record every show, so I just get these moments. I don't want to burn material on social media if I don't have to. I don't like burning jokes I'm going to put in my next special, so I just put up little moments on social media that are funny, but I like writing jokes. Sam added that he doesn't want the people in the audience to feel scared to cooperate. Sam said, you want them to feel like it's going to be a funny interaction, and that's it. Kathleen Madigan's new special is out. It's called Hunting Bigfoot. You'll find this on Amazon. In Kathleen Madigan's Hunting Bigfoot, she tackles her aging parents, millennials, and hunting Bigfoot. Ready, Steady, Cut reviewed the special. Spoilers. They say Kathleen opens the special with a bit about a tiny town in Georgia. Then she tells a story about how she was looking for something to do, and they told her they could zip line into another state for $55. Ready, Steady, Cut says, honestly, for an opening joke, it was classic. Because she hit a home run with a funny southern redneck story that'll make everyone laugh, but she makes the jokes relatable and funny. Ready, Steady, Cut says, I didn't have Madigan having jokes about sports betting on my bingo card, but I couldn't help but laugh. Finally, she closed it with a joke about a lady in a gas station that got a big laugh. They wrote, she has this relaxed demeanor on stage, highlighting the veteran prowess that most comedians show, but what impressed you about her work is that as time changes, so does Madigan and her material. We don't have a comedian stuck in the 80s trying to deliver funny jokes for a particular crowd. Instead, Madigan tackles millennials, sports, and the South, all more relatable than ever. It's one of the more creative specials I've seen from a veteran comedian in a long time. Wow, that's high praise. They did have an issue with the runtime. They said you're looking at an hour and 15 minutes, which is a long time to make people laugh. Because of this, some of the jokes start to wane off towards the end, and it feels like she's overstaying her welcome. They gave it 3.5 stars. I don't know how many that is. Could be out of 100. 3.5 out of 100 wouldn't be too good, right? 3.5 out of 4? Pretty good. Summary, Kathleen Madigan strongly adapts her jokes to fit the generation in a way that makes these special creative and relatable to anyone that will watch. All right, I'll try and get to that this weekend. Monique has a special coming out. This one's coming on Netflix. You may recall a few years ago, Monique and Netflix had a little skirmish. There was a lawsuit in 2019 that alleged that Netflix's treatment of Monique began with a discriminatory lowball offer and ended with a blacklisting act of retaliation. From an article on Deadline a few years back, at the heart of the 10-claim and jury-seeking document is Monique's contention that the $500,000 that Netflix offered her back in 2017 for a special was not just an insult, but illegal. The complaint said Netflix's business practice of paying black women less than non-black women for substantially equal or similar work causes harm to the plaintiff that outweighs any reason Netflix may have for doing so. Quoting from Deadline here, as if to further prove the point, the filing lists off the tens of millions that the likes of returning Golden Globes host Ricky Gervais, Ellen DeGeneres, and Dave Chappelle supposedly raked in for their Netflix specials. I'll jump in here. I'm not on the jury. Do you think that Monique should get paid as much as, say, Ricky Gervais? Or Dave Chappelle or Ellen DeGeneres? I'm not on the jury. I'll let someone else decide. Anyway, they eventually settled the case, and now they're friends because she's got a special on Netflix. Monique said, why did I title this special My Name is Monique? Well, after 72 minutes, y'all are going to know why. You might say, damn, we didn't know we were going to find out all of that. This one right here is personal. This one right here, when you walk away from this one, when you turn your TV off from this one, you'll say, now we understand that woman. There are things I'm going to say in this comedy special that I thought would take to my grave, but they were mine. They were my thoughts. They were my secrets. It'll be mine. Before, I was just focused on being funny. Now, I feel like I have something to say. My name is Monique, Netflix, April 4th. If you spend any time with me in real life, like if you spend more than 5 minutes with me, I will somehow start telling you that I'm trying to run the marathon again. Real quick, I ran it 10 years ago. Real quick, I was training last year, and then my body kind of fell apart there for reasons I won't get into. I had an iron deficiency, in case you're curious. It's not like I was dying or anything. And I'm planning on running it again this year, which is why today's sponsor is perfect. Today's sponsor is The Power of the Streak. It's an easy-to-read book by Kara Wood. She's got this down. Here are the questions the book answers. Do you struggle with working out regularly? Have you started exercising only to get back to zero in a couple weeks? Well, then you're in good company. Kara had zero motivation for years. She eventually flipped the switch and has not looked back. Her story is of starting and keeping a running streak for 12 years while having a career, 2 childbirths. 12 years. Right now, I'm at 4 days. Maybe I'm at 6 days. Sunday's workout was weak. I might be at 6 days. I'm definitely not at 12 years. Good for you. Kara's story is funny, relatable, and inspiring. She explains how you can do the same thing with any exercise. Doesn't have to be running. Even a cynic will leave feeling motivated, inspired, and excited to commit once and for all to long-lasting exercise and fitness. If you buy the book, a percentage of royalties are donated to the Special Olympics. The Power of the Streak. I'm telling you, I know personally. I have good streaks and bad streaks. Right now, I'm at like 6 days or whatever, so I'm going to want to keep going. Once I break the streak, because I'm not amazing and can't do 12 years, what will happen is I'll have a streak of, -1, and I'll be like, I didn't go out Monday. Might as well not go out Tuesday. I'll start again tomorrow. And then you have these negative streaks where you don't work out at all. I bet you're on one right now. It's really easy to not work out, right? Yeah, so no, start working out again, man. The Power of the Streak by Kara Wood. Available in all formats where books are sold, including Amazon and Barnes & Noble. Check out the audiobook on iTunes and Audible. She sent me a link, and that is on my listening queue for the weekend. You can also follow The Power of the Streak on Instagram at The Power of the Streak and Twitter at Power of Streak. The links are in the show notes, so check it out. Thank you for sponsoring the show, The Power of the Streak. All right, everybody, get moving. By the way, Glenn that I talk about, that I use in the bits? Well, we were at the brewery last night. Glenn signed up for the marathon. Now, he's in the lottery. I'm actually in because I deferred last year. But Glenn has a lottery spot. So we'll see if Glenn can get going. We'll see if we can get Glenn to start a streak. The Power of the Streak. Check it out. Hey, big shout out to Tom. 2 things. Tom went to buymeacoffee.com/dailycomedynews. Bought me a couple of coffees. Much thanks to Tom. He also shot me a note a week ago, and I've been meaning to bring this up, and I kind of spaced on it because I recorded a few days early for the long weekend last week, and then the email got buried. So, Tom, I apologize, but he had sent me a note. I mentioned a comedian and suggested the comedian was from Canada, and Tom reminded me quite correctly, dude, Ryan Hamilton may seem Canadian, but he's from Ohio. It's been a big part of his stand-up. Tom is correct. I don't know why I thought Ryan was from Canada. Maybe because I was talking about Vancouver, and isn't Hamilton someplace in Canada somewhere? There's a Hamilton, right? Hamilton is a port city in Ontario. Of course it is. Canadians are throwing their phones across the room right now, you stupid Yankee. No, Canadians don't call us Yankees. What do you call us? Anyway, speaking of Canada, let's hit the Vancouver Comedy Festival last weekend here. I've really been enjoying pretending going to the festival. 7 o'clock, the Office Ladies. Yeah. Pam and Angela are there. I guess they're doing their podcast. 7 o'clock. Ari Shaffir at 7. Steph Tolev at 7. Comedy World, one of those shows that has 8 or so comedians at 8 o'clock. Nick Thune at 9:30. Tim Dillon. All right, I know where we're going there. 9:30. Dan Soder at 9:30. And Crowd Work in the Round, hosted by Mike Falzone at 10:30. All right, if we were at the festival tonight, I can't remember. Did we see Ari Shaffir yet? Should we go see the Office Ladies? Do we want to see a podcast taping? Live podcast tapings can be kind of annoying. I can't remember if we saw Ari Shaffir. If we haven't seen Ari Shaffir yet, let's go see Ari. If not, we'll do the Office Ladies. 9:30, Tim Dillon. I'm not even arguing with you. We're going to see Tim. Awesome. Surprised there's no late show hero. I guess Crowd Work in the Round is 10:30. Maybe after Dillon we could catch the tail end of that. But there's no midnight show. Like Montreal always has a midnight show that you can hit. Party Down is back. Have you watched Party Down? Nobody watched Party Down, including me. And then I started watching it when I heard it was coming back. So Party Down was this show from 12, 13 years ago on Starz, which no one has. And now it's back on Starz, which no one has. So as much as I like it, I'm not going to see season 3 anytime soon. The first 2 seasons are on Hulu. Couple articles here about Party Down TV Guide. Remember that? Yeah, that's still around apparently. They wrote, it's difficult not to approach every reboot, reimagining, and remix with some amount of skepticism. There's been a relentless influx of bad revivals lately. All we can hope is the best ones honor the original material, refresh what needs updating, and prove the original show still has a place in today's culture. Party Down's 3rd season, premiering today on Starz with a Z, is largely able to achieve all those things. That's good. If you're not familiar with the show, it is from 2009. It follows some caterers who work in LA, Southern California, and they all dream of becoming famous actors or screenwriters. And it doesn't really work out. Some of them had already accepted defeat. Some are still dreaming. They float around the edges of fancy events, balancing trays of hors d'oeuvres and mingling with the rich as they were repeatedly confronted with the threat that their lives might never turn out the way they envisioned. Season 3 picks up 10 years after Season 2, bringing the gang back together, except for Lizzie Kaplan. She was off taping that Fleischman is in trouble. Yeah, that's the name of it. Fleischman is in trouble. So she's not on the new season. Now, I haven't seen the new season. I can't imagine she doesn't at least cameo, but maybe I'm wrong. Anyway, they're back together to celebrate Kyle's newly acquired role in a corny-looking superhero movie. He's hired his old catering company, still led by Ron, played by Ken Marino, to work the party, which Roman immediately susses out as Kyle's way of taunting them with his success. So we got the gang back together. There's also some new characters, one played by Jennifer Garner. Yes, Jennifer Garner, you heard me correctly. Ken Marino spoke to The Last Laugh about the absence of Lizzie Kaplan. He said, yeah, it sucked. Lizzie was a huge part of why the first 2 seasons of Party Down were so special and worked so well, so it was a real bummer. He's holding out hope that if they get a 4th season, Lizzie Kaplan will be able to come back. Ken Marino said, when we finally got wind we were actually doing it, of course, I had to go back into my file cabinet where I have all the folders with the breakdowns of all the characters I do, and I pulled out the folder of Ron, blew the dust off, and opened it up, and man, it took me 6, 7, 8 months to really get back into the headspace of who Ron is. That's crazy, dude. And what he's all about. Once I did that, I had to take another 11 or 12 months just to stay in character, so I understood his mindset. Dude, that's insane. And you guys know I've been down in the basement a lot with the door closed. What have you been doing? I'm on OnlyFans. Wait, what? Yes, of course. There was the big comedy competition, and they have announced the winner. Mary O'Connell won £100,000. The winner of the OnlyFans comedy competition, Mary O'Connell, who's 27 years old, said, it feels amazing. I don't even have the words. I wanted it so bad. I'm so grateful. It really means a lot because I was distinguishing my voice. I was finding my voice. It's something I've been working really hard on and I've struggled with. For the judges to pick me, the fact that they said I had the most distinctive voice is priceless. How this worked. 10 comics were selected to take part in the OnlyFans Creative Fund Comedy Edition. They were whittled down to 6 over a number of reality-style tasks, such as being ordered to write the most depraved material they could, not knowing they would then have to perform it to an audience of pensioners. The final 6 did actual stand-up in a club in East London last November. They filmed it, they held the results back, and now we know Mary O'Connell is the winner. So now why am I in the basement with the door closed? Well, I'm on OnlyFans, of course. What are you doing? The roast of Bert Kresicher is coming up. I told you about this. Follow the show for free on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, wherever you get your shows, because that's your comedy news for today. See you tomorrow. So you're at McDonald's and you get your bag and you open your bag, you want to grab a couple of fries or something, and there's $5,000 in it. Yeah, this happened to one guy. Hi, I'm Johnny Mac, host of 5 Good News Stories. He gave the money back, don't worry. If you want to start your day with a smile twice a week, I've got 5 good news stories for you. For example, there's an airline for dogs. Or what about the woman in her 80s who just released her debut album? How about the dude who found 150 corn on the cobs under his floorboards? Is corn on the cobs even the way you say that? Who cares? And yes, that was a pony at the supermarket. 5 good news stories, the number 5 good news stories, 5 good news stories, the number 5 good news stories, wherever you get your podcasts.